Hello all, welcome back. It is Thursday, December 8th in the NBA. My favorite pick is on the way. But first, let's recap yesterday. It was a 2-2 day. Paolo Banchero over 20.5 points. Yeah, we needed overtime. He gets it done. Jalen Brunson under 32.5 PRAs. No sweat bet. He easily goes under. Suns money line, they get absolutely smoked by the Celtics. The Celtics are absolutely crushing it this year. And then our best bet of the day, Jaren Jackson Jr. I think he ends with 12 points, only 9 field goal attempts, shoots the ball well. Just didn't have enough field goal attempts. I don't even think he attempted a shot through his first 10 minutes. But either way, it was our first losing day in December. Let's get back to the winning column today. If you are new to our channel, my name's Austin. Go down below, hit that subscribe button, closing in on 58,000 subscribers. And since it is Thursday, our Thursday night football video is already live. Raiders versus Rams. You can go check that out. My best picks includes my favorite player prop, spread pick, same game parlay. It has been brought to my attention that I had a typo in that video. I had Rams plus 3.5. It's 6.5. Definitely take plus 6.5. It was just a typo on the screen. But either way, I have mentioned this once or twice on the channel, but I just want to keep mentioning it to you guys. PrizePicks still has that free square live for Justin Herbert. You take advantage of that free square, and if you sign up using code COS or the link in the description, you get a 100% deposit match. Take advantage of that. All the details down below. Without further ado, let's get into my player prop. There's no best bet of the day. I don't really feel comfortable putting 1.5 units on anything today, but we'll get into this pick and then we'll talk about some leans. We're going with Damian Lillard, the guy probably on the thumbnail, taking us over 6.5 assists, minus 130 on FanDuel. Now, personally, I think this line should be about 7.5. Now, that might seem high for a guy like Damian Lillard, who everyone kind of knows as this guy that can go out there and score 40 points any given night, but recently he's not been that. And I know he just returned back from injury, but I think this line should be 7.5, which I probably wouldn't take, but the fact that 6.5, okay, laying a little bit of juice. Now, Lillard returned back from injury back on December 4th, so he's had a couple days off, but he returned back, played 32 minutes, had 13 potential assists. He did only have 6 assists, so he did go under on the hook, but 13 potential assists, adjusted assist was 8. Now, NBA adjusted assist is kind of a metric that they use. I don't really know exactly how they calculate it, but it probably comes down to shots that a teammate probably normally makes, but they obviously missed whenever Lillard passed him the ball. But Lillard, you look at on the year, averaging 6.9 assists per game, so right around this line on 12.3 potential assists. Now, earlier this season, he wasn't really passing the ball. Damian Lillard, not really known as being the best passer in the league, but over his last couple games before he got injured, he was passing it pretty well. And you look at the last 5 games pre-injury, he had 7, 12, 11, 11, and 7 assists, hitting over in all 5 games. And I think it's certainly possible he can get up to 7 assists against the Nuggets, a team that allows the 3rd most assists per game to opposing point guards. And this is actually a fast-paced matchup. If you've been watching the Blazers this year, if you're a Blazers fan, they're actually playing pretty slow. This is more of a defensive-minded team that plays pretty slow. The Nuggets are not that. They want to move fast. Jokic pushes the tempo. And if you look at Lillard, terrific track record against this Nuggets team. He already had 8 assists versus them earlier this year. In a game, he scored 31 points. So he was cooking on the offensive end, but yet he still managed to get 8 assists. And also, you look at Lillard's last 10 games against Nikola Jokic. He's had averaged 9.7 assists per game, hitting this over in 8 of 10 games. 7 of the 8 that he went over, he had 10 plus assists. So if you want to sprinkle in a double-double or something like that, go crazy. But the Blazers, like I said, they're going to actually be in a fast-paced matchup in this one. They normally are kind of being a pace-down spot, but this is a pace-up spot for him against the Nuggets. Getting over under at 226.5. We've seen guys get, I think, easily clear this line against the Nuggets recently. And you look at a guy like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, not a guy that we normally say, oh, this guy's a great passer, gets a ton of assists. He had 11 assists versus the Nuggets. Wouldn't surprise me if we see Lillard at least get 7, but I think he can get 8, 9, 10 potentially. A double-double, I'll sprinkle on it. I didn't look at the odds, but I imagine it's around plus 400, plus 500. Who knows? But either way, Lillard, go get a 7. That's what I really want to see. Now, nothing really else sticks out to me on this slate. We look at the couple games, not really too good. Clippers versus Heat is not going to really have a lot of lines because both those two teams put everyone and their mother on the injury report. And then you look at the other game, Rockets versus Spurs. Same kind of thing. They have a lot of guys on the injury report. But I do want to talk about a couple leans that I did look at. I'd just rather save my money for tomorrow, a much longer slate. So let's talk about a couple leans that I have on here. Now, Aaron Gordon, under 16.5 points. I got a couple unders on here. You'll understand why. Now, Aaron Gordon, look, he had 26 points last game, but if there's anything I know about Aaron Gordon, this guy's one of the most inconsistent players in the NBA. Right when he gets you to trust him, oh, I can take his over. No, he backstabs you and hits you with 4 points. I just don't trust Aaron Gordon. I think Jeremy Grant, a pretty solid defender. Aaron Gordon doesn't have the greatest track record against the Blazers. I know he scored 26 against them earlier this year, but I just don't trust Aaron Gordon. I just don't want to put it out there because Michael Porter Jr., I don't believe, is playing. So definitely, you don't have to take it, but that's just one of my leans I did look at. Then you go back to that Spurs-Rockets game. Keldon Johnson under 34.5 PRAs. Now, if you're looking for a guy that's going to shoot 20-something times tonight, Keldon Johnson is your guy. But we've learned from previous experiment, just because you shoot a lot doesn't mean you're going to hit your overs. And Keldon Johnson is one of the more inefficient shooters that I've seen so far this season. He had a decent game shooting last game, despite it being a blowout versus the Phoenix Suns. I know Devin Vassell is out, but Keldon Johnson is just he's just all over the place. He has games where he goes like 4 for 20 from the field. Like, this is a guy that really struggles. And I just don't, I know it's the Rockets. They don't play a lot of defense, but Jabari Smith Jr. probably the guy that's going to be on him. So I think he's at least a decent defender, right? Jabari Smith Jr. does foul a good amount, but I just don't trust Keldon Johnson. I don't think you'll ever see me take a lot of his overs unless it's really like, I got to take it because they lower it too low. But his points line is like 24.5. He's going to shoot a lot. Trust me, he's going to shoot. The problem is you have to bank on him knocking him down, and I don't necessarily know if he gets that done. Now, another player prop under, I looked at Paul George under 22.5 points. Now, at the time of recording this, we only have lines for Paul George, and I think Kawhi Leonard on this Heat versus Clippers game. I don't really, Kawhi Leonard's like 13.5. He's on a back-to-back. But Paul George, he's really not been too good as of late since returning back from injury. I think only 11 points yesterday against Orlando. Just find it hard to believe that in a back-to-back, he suddenly finds a new groove against the Heat. Don't have the best, their defense has been up and down this year. I don't really know who's healthy for the Heat, but I still do think Paul George could go under that. 22.5, still asking him to knock down a lot of his shots and play a lot of minutes, which both are not guaranteed. The Heat are at home, where they're obviously very good against the spread. And the Clippers just lost to Orlando Magic on the road. I just don't know if I really want to trust Paul George's overs. I'd probably lean his under 22.5 points if I had to take it. And then the final one, my game pick of the day would be Nuggets money line. I really just don't like either of these games, any of the 3 games for putting spread picks on there, but the Nuggets money line, if I look at these two teams when they match up against Nuggets and Blazers, very, very often it likely leads to a blowout, which is kind of weird. But I think the Nuggets, they got blown out by 26 earlier this year versus the Blazers. I think people might look into that and see, Blazers at plus money? Give it to me. Blazers are the home team. I think the Nuggets are favored for a reason on the road. Now, I don't know who gets it done for the Nuggets because their squad is interesting, but I think they can get the money line. And it's kind of like a coin flip game to me. So if you want to take the Blazers, you can go for that. If you want to do something with Damian Lillard, 10 plus assists and a win, you can do that. I don't really, a Nuggets money line would be my spread pick, but look, the spreads have been super tough. I don't think those lines are too sharp right now. So take whoever you think is going to win. That would be my official pick. But of course, it is time to shout out some COS All-Stars. I appreciate you guys as always for supporting the channel. Sorry, I still am under the weather. Hopefully we're better on Friday. But let's talk about these couple new All-Stars. We appreciate you guys as always for joining the channel. If you want to join, click the join button below the channel. Now we have Mr. Dirk's tackle. We got Paul T. We got Relic Elite Club 317. We got Luis. We got Ross Cooper. We got X Kilo Mazzi. We got Elijah. We got Chelms. We got Travis, Nick, Stefano, James, John, Marco, Brandon, G, Quentin. We got Samayo. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I appreciate you guys so much for supporting the channel. Sorry I'm still under the weather, but hopefully I'm a little bit better tomorrow. Just going to be resting, relaxing. Sorry I won't respond to too many comments today. Just kind of want to take it easy. But appreciate you as always. My Thursday Night Football video. Boom. Go check it out. You can check that out. My favorite player prop. Spread pick, which is the Rams plus 6.5, not 3.5. And of course, you'll see my same game parlay, which we continue to lose by 1 leg. But thank you guys all so much. Call on our shop merch if you want it. Or we'll probably wear the hoodie in tomorrow's video because my hoodie just came in. And you can join our chalkboard too if you want. Reminder about that PrizePicks free square. Take advantage of that using that Justin Herbert free square. Plus, you can use our deposit match up to $100. Take advantage. I'm Boston. I'm signing out. Peace out.